Okay, well, we're back. I have unsuccessfully been able to get this pickup to go straight, even though I did shave on the inside here. There's space, but I don't know what it is. I just can't figure it out. Even the springs won't do it. I might have something to do with the wire. I'll see later if I can pull on that wire a little bit or push on the wire a little bit. I'm not sure what it'll take. I already had to adjust it under here, but when these strings come off, I can go underneath the bridge pickup again. I put a shim in the neck. I tried it twice. I got a 0.25, and now I've moved to a 0.30, a 0.31. I had a 35 ready to go, but with the 31, I'm able to get the height adjustment I want. The saddles are not unreasonable. All the screws are still relatively flat or below the top of the saddle, except for the low E. That one is that saddle straight? Yeah. The low E has a little bit above it, but the saddles on this are not sharp like the more less expensive ones. So I started checking for uneven frets. In the playing position, I've straightened the neck with the tension on, but this is when I'm actually going to get problems. And then of course when I go to level, I'll have to change that and take with the tension off the neck. I'll have to straighten the neck again using my ruler. This has a fender scale. Got a little bit of a high spot on this fret, 11. Yeah, I knew there was something around there that was causing an issue. Up 13 as well. So I've got some 1, 2, and 3 seem to be problematic, possibly a part of 4. They're good here up until 11, and then I'm starting to find more of them up this way. When I did a bend, checking the strings height, it choked at a few places, buzzing, not complete choking, which told me I have some uneven frets up here. But so far, not that bad. Most of these frets will just need a little bit of a polishing, even though they're already fairly shiny. They're stainless steel, so it's going to be a little bit harder to get them down. And the copper nickel, oh, there's a high spot on that one. What's that? 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, it's a 24. So it's a full octave higher up guitar. So you got 1 to 12 and then 1 to 12. Full octave up. Yeah, that one's high. 19 there. Okay, so I'm going to have some problems down at this end for sure, because this 22 is also quite high. Alright, so in the meantime, we've gotten along. I'm happy with the shim. The nut, let me just check the nut. I think the nut could be okay now that I've got everything else set up properly. Let me just look by look and feel. You know, I think it's good. I think it's in the good zone, so let's see what we got. An 18 and a 16 to compare with. Come on, there you go. So 18 on the top side. Just a hair on the low E, a half a hair on the A, and the D is good. The D is good, and then what do we got on the? Let's see what we're doing. What do we got over here? Ah, that's a 16, and wow, it's lower than 16. And the B is good, and the G is good. Wow, it's lower than 16 on that corner. I wonder if the fret's high. No. So that's something to remember. It's good everywhere except there, so I may have to take a tiny little bit of a bit off of this top end of this fret here and recrown it just to make it right. Let's see what it is at the second fret. Yeah, it's perfect at the second fret. Now if I go over there, was the second fret one of my problems? Nope. But the third is. The third's high. So once that comes down, we'll have to see how it all works out. Alright, so we're going to need those tools. We no longer need the shims. Back in the bag. Alright. Alright. The action is really nice on the fretboard. And let's see, it could probably have a little bit more of a truss rod, but I'm thinking I'm going to do the fret leveling first. And now that I'm going to disconnect the body and the neck again, take these off, these strings off, I should say. I'm going to toy with the idea of getting rid of this pot here and putting in a push-pull like that one, because the ends are not being used on the neck. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I don't know what pot that is. There's no markings on it. But everything looks pretty good in there except for all these wires. I may keep them. I may not. I usually like to braid my wires going to the jack. They're not braided. Or put a shielded one on the jack. So 6 of 1/2 a dozen of the other. This pot is facing, the lugs are facing the top, the back side of the guitar, and there's more space down here facing the south. So I will probably turn that, and that won't make those wires so close to the holes coming out for the pickups, because they're right on top of that. So I'll just make a few adjustments, I think, and then we'll see how the sound goes for that neck pickup, since I like the bridge pickup as it is. I fixed this switch. Oh, I can still turn it a tiny little bit, apparently. I can still turn it a tiny little bit. And because the wires are all in there, my fingers have a hard time to get there. Better. Nice and tight now, so that's good. I'm also going to do a sort of a buffing finishing on top and bottom, as I usually do. And of course we're going to do the whole neck. So that's next. Okay, so the guitar has been put back together and set up with the action as I desire, the relief, etc., etc., etc. Been sitting on the table for a couple of days while I was doing other things, so let's go to the amp and see what it sounds like, because the next step is going to be cutting off these factory strings, discombobulating the neck and the body, and working on them separately again. Alright, let's go see what we got at the amp. Alright, we're going to check it out. Got a pick. I didn't prepare all this before I turned the camera back on. So, let's get all the stuff on my screen that's off, off it there. And we'll check. Do I have it up? Oh, yeah, turn it up. Okay, so it's out of tune. Oh, my D is just about there. I gave these strings a stretch. Okay, sounds good. Let's see. Pedal board is off. Yuck. Not split. Not much difference in the split of each coil. But I did measure this, and it does go from 15 to 7. A bigger notice on the neck. Because the neck is, what was it, 8? And it drops to 4. Now that I've got this thing set properly, I'm okay with the pickup sound. And I'm assuming it's going to sound better with the Dario strings on it and not these Chinese factory strings. A little bit of drive. Joyo. Let's try the fuzz. Ooh. the Movol, the Delamo is really distortion. US Dream. What have I got on? About 11 o'clock. Volume 11 o'clock. Tone full up. Good old compressor. Trouble with my chords. Just plain boost. All right. We're going to take it apart. There are some unlevel frets. Let me just mute that. I am definitely going to put a push-pull here. Split that separately because I think having that option to be able to go full with a half is going to make it. Oh, that was on split too. Better. So I'm going to clean up the rat's nest that's in there. All these wires here will come spinning around. We'll go to bench 2 for that. While I've got the body apart, I'm going to take advantage of my buffing. Take all the stuff off there. Protect these things, and I'm going to do some buffing around it. I mean, it is beautiful, but it can just be cleaned up and shined up a tiny little bit all around the body. And it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Wow, the nut on this thing was cut so well. It's a nice new nut compared to the first guitar. This is a brand spanking new nut. There's no tool marks on it whatsoever across the top. The other one was a little bit gouged around between the B and the G, and then it looked a little yellowish there. But this one is perfectly white, just like I would have put one on, just like that. So yes, the markers are nice. They're a little bit sharp, sharper than the wood. I think what's going to happen is I'm going to soften the edge up a little bit on the neck when I have it apart as well. I mean, it's not terrible, but it could be just a tad smoother. It's not going to take much just to run that across there. You know, some little bit sandpaper. Probably something like about 600, maybe 800. I don't know. We'll find out. All right, off we go. Separate benches.